Today isn't an easy day for me. On this day, back in 2013, I lost my mum suddenly. She collapsed and died. And every year on this day since that day, I've always had an urge to go and climb a mountain. So this year, I've decided to climb Mother Cummings Peak, which is a 5-hour return walk, according to this here on my on the video here. It's near Chasm Falls as well, so I may even go and visit a waterfall. But today for me, it's about climbing the mountain. I'm not sure why I had the urge on the anniversary of Mum's death, especially the first year, why I had an urge to even climb a mountain in the first place. I guess symbolically it just meant to try and climb as close to the heavens to get closer to her. And even after all this time, you know, now it's 2021, I still have that urge to do exactly the same thing, to try and climb a mountain. I was originally going to climb Mount Farrell, which is near Tulla, but the weather this year has prevented me, which is the second year in a row that I've been prevented from climbing that mountain due to weather. So however, this is the one that I'll try and do today, and we'll probably see a few waterfalls. So anyway, I'm Craig from Waterfalls of Tasmania. Let's see how we go. Okay, so I'm just starting my walk now. So here we go, Chasm Falls track and Mother Cummings Peak track just down there. Little track just off the car parking area here. Now, one of the good things that's happened in the last year or two, can't remember exactly when, there's now a bridge that crosses the Meander River here. Before we had to sort of go down and cross the river manually through the water, and when there was flood water we couldn't do that. But anyway, this is our new bridge. It's pretty nice. Cross over here. Yeah, it's nice now. It's the first time I've seen this bridge. And of course there's our view. A lot of water. We've had a lot of rain. So I'll continue on. And now we'll walk into the forest. So this will wind upwards to begin with, and then it'll lead back to where a former road used to be. We'll be walking along the old road to the old car park area that used to exist. But back many years ago, there was a flood waters had washed out the road bridge. So just getting up to the old road area now, which is very overgrown now, as you can see. So we'll just follow this up. It's pretty much like this all the way until we get up to the car park area. So I've been walking for probably about 20 minutes. There's lots of trees that are over the road that we've got to constantly climb over.
1 kilometer.
Ugh, slime, I thought it was ice. A bit of funky. I wasn't expecting that. So here we go. So let's continue up the road here. It's interesting how over time nature starts reclaiming things. So obviously this was once a road. You couldn't tell now, you can barely see the gravel. Lots of moss and leaves and dirt all over the road. Makes good walking for us.
1 kilometer.
1 kilometer I've been walking. We're not too far away from the old car park area, so let's continue uphill. The weather's improved somewhat. A little bit of drizzle and it was overcast. It should be clearing up today. Probably can't see it, but through the trees up there is more or less what I have to climb today. Or is it that one up there? Who knows? I'll find out soon enough. Pretty sure it's this one. Actually, I think I'm at the old car park area now. Need to try and fix my GoPro. It stopped working. Not sure why. The batteries are charged. Okay, so yeah, this is it. This is the old car park. We come up here, see the old signs. So at Mother Cummings Peak, 4 hours return. It says Smoko Falls, 2 hours return. Although Smoko Falls seems to be a funny one. People not sure which one it is. Ironstone Mountain Track leads that way. And Mount Ironstone, 7 hours return. There's another way to climb Mount Ironstone, by the way. South Western Creek Track's really good. Bell Tarn, 4 hours return. And of course, Chasm Falls, 1 hour return. So Chasm Falls is good. There's 3 waterfalls to see there. Oh, really? Yeah, there is 3. I've got to go this way. Somewhere up that way to go and find towards Mother Cummings Peak and Smoko Falls. All right. Let's see how I go. I got my GoPro working again, which is nice. So starting to climb towards Mother Cummings Peak. So tracks, you can see it quite clearly in the camera. You can see where the track is leading, different colour rocks from the wear and tear. So it's good to know that other people have been down this track fairly regularly. Helps keep us safe when we're not having to go off track. So my climb up, a lot of trees down, had to climb under and over a few trees that have fallen over the old road. But generally it wasn't too bad. This should be interesting because of all the rain that we've had. Well, we've had so much rain here in 2021 that I expect Smoko Falls, whichever one it is, should be flowing really well. I noticed a couple of small cascades that this track passes by. No idea if any of them were colloquially named Smoko Falls or not. But I also know that off one of the cliffs to the side, there's also another waterfall, which is very large and very seasonal as well. Usually doesn't flow. But with all the rain, I expect to see some kind of sights today. Should be good. Weather's starting to get a little bit better as well, which is nice. I was concerned about that. I really didn't want to go climbing mountains in rain. It's not really enjoyable at all. Here's another tree down. Coming up to another one. There we go, and a little track has been made to the side, just down here. So I'll walk around the mess there of all the trees fallen. And more trees down. These ones are pretty small. But yeah, this is typical of hiking in Tasmania. We get a lot of trees down. Anyway, I'll just continue on slowly and surely. I'm going to take my time today. There's no rush. Got a lot of daylight ahead. And if anything goes badly wrong, weather-wise or otherwise, I'll turn around. So I'll do the best I can. So I'm right next to the river. I think it's Mother Cummings rivulet actually. So I'm inside the trees, and you can see just up, where's my finger? Up there. And point the camera around. I'm very careful, I'm on slippery rocks. I have to cross. There's ribbons tied to the other side, just over there. So I have to cross the water here, and that looks slippery. and deep. Yeah, this isn't going to be fun. Yeah, what to do? Yeah, I'm genuinely at a loss whether I should try and cross here or not. I know I can do it, but I'm just going to get very wet feet. Anyhow, just to put things into perspective a little bit. Not sure if you can see that. That's my GPS track. We started down there actually. And at this point we've got to cross the river, and the track goes further up on the other side of the river before it starts to climb to Cummings Head, which is where we're headed. Oh well, let's see how I go. Cute little waterfall. There's a lot of little cute cascades along this rivulet. And now that I'm across the other side of the river, I'm happy. Because yeah, it wasn't easy to cross. My feet are very wet. Anyhow, I've still got a lot of climbing to do, so I best get on with it. Gee, there's some pretty things to see on this walk. Not to mention all the moss, and walking alongside this lovely creek. There's so many very, very cute and pretty cascades, which I'm not actually photographing any of them at the moment because I'm really keen to get to the top of this peak and then get back down again. Hopefully you can see that. So that's the waterfall that drops over a cliff, and it's coming down here. It doesn't usually flow. So through the trees, that's actually a big waterfall. Now there is debate about whether this is Smoko Falls or not, but I'm going to venture a guess that it is. Hopefully if anyone else has any other details about it, they can let me know. Yeah, but that's a large waterfall. I might try and photograph the bottom tier once I come off this, once I finish climbing the peak. So down there is Mother Cummings rivulet, and that's just some, I think it's an unnamed creek that's flowing into it. Oh well, better continue. Okay, so the last push uphill. So if you can see this on my GPS, I might just turn it this way, it might be easier to see. Zoom out. Okay, so I've walked from the car park down there, I've walked all the way up here to that point, and now we're leaving the river and we're going uphill to the top of Cummings Head, which is up here. So now I've got a bit of a scramble uphill to do. Try and point that up. So that's my uphill area I've got to walk. So yeah, it's just a scramble all the way up to the top for a bit. So it's probably the hardest bit of the walk, I'm guessing. I remember once before I tried to climb this and then it started snowing on me very heavily. so I couldn't climb it, so I had to turn back. I didn't want to risk being caught in a snowstorm. I'm not going to have that today, it's too warm for that. But yeah, by memory, I actually climbed up a fair way, and by memory it was pretty hard going. So anyway, just got to do it. Work my way up. I can't quite see where the next markers are. It's a ribbon just here. So I'm going to turn this back a bit. There's my ribbon right there. It's very faded. So we just got to keep working our way uphill as far as we can. That's a little faded ribbon there, just there on that tree. A rock can. Just come up here for a sec. Hopefully I don't slip. So there's the part of the view. Not sure if you can see it in camera, but there's the waterfall just there, which I believe is Smoko Falls. In the distance, there's another waterfall right in the distance. You may not be able to see it in camera. It's on those peaks right down there in the distance. I don't know which one that is. I have to check it out on the map once I can get my bearings to try and work it out. Yeah, I don't think it's Bastion Cascade, surely not. Yeah, I don't know, it looks fairly decent size too. Okay, I'm going to continue walking. I'm keen to get to the top if I can. Anyway, that view will get better and better as we get higher and higher. What is this? To the valley. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, well, we want to go up this way. I'm nearly at the top. Just stopped for a break for a bit. It's been a bit of a scramble, and I've got a, what is this, a scree, boulder scree to climb through. Some loose rock here as well. See where I am on the GPS. Okay, so I'm about 1210 meters above sea level. It looks like 1260 meters above sea level is really the peak, which is over there. The track doesn't really take us there, but see how we go up the top. Might be able to just wander around. 40 meters from the top, 40 or 50 meters, and about 1210 or 1220 meters above sea level right now. In the distance, if you can see it down on the bottom left hand corner, that is that little waterfall, or it's actually a big waterfall, the top of it at least, the creek before it jumps over the edge of the cliff. To our distance there, the big mountain in the backdrop there is Mount Ironstone, which happens to be the tallest mountain on the Great Western Tiers, or the highest peak on the Great Western Tiers. It's a good climb too. To our distance there, the other peak that you could see sort of in front of us is Mount Roland, with some of the hills in the distance in the west. You can see the ocean from here as well. That peak directly in front of us is Mother Cummings Peak. The view is pretty nice. You can hear the roar of the wind and of the river system coming through there too. in the valley and farmland. Up here is the scree field that I have to now climb over these boulders. I'll just keep following these rock cairns that are in front of me. They're going to help me guide, or they're going to guide me up to the top at the very least. I believe our peak is up there. So about 40 or 50 meters altitude still to climb, but we're not far away and it shouldn't take too long. Okay, I'll continue. How's that for a rock cairn? We're not at quite the top yet, but we're basically more or less on the plateau. Still a little bit of climbing to do, but the worst of it's over and done with, thankfully. Sun's come out briefly amongst the clouds. Turn it up a bit. Okay. Don't really know which way to go. I'll just try and follow some cairns if I can see them. Yeah, there's one over there somewhere. There's one. Someone's gone to a bit of effort up here for a bigger one. I actually find comfort following in the footsteps of others. Not sure why, maybe because the track's been tried and tested. And I guess for me that gives me a lot of reassurance that I'm not doing anything too crazy. Other people have done it well and truly before me, many people. Yeah, I wish there was a trig point up here. That would have been nice. There's a little ribbon there. Almost useless to have ribbons up here. Rock cairns are usually a good way to go. The reason I say that is because it's quite open. You don't have trees blocking your view, and rock cairns can be found everywhere. I'm not exactly having a hard time finding them at the moment. So there's some more ribbons, this time tied to rocks. It's not a bad option. Another little ribbon tied to a bush, a rock cairn I've just passed. Now I just got to watch myself here because you can see rock cairns in different directions. I'm guessing because it's swampy they're trying to scoot you around the outside of it, but I'm not entirely sure. I'll go this way because I can see a few rock cairns. I can see another yellow ribbon up here. I can definitely see a straight line of rock cairns right up into the distance. It's actually nice to be up the top of the plateau area. None of that hard climbing. I can't say it was a terribly hard walk. It's a bit of altitude. I'm thinking it was somewhere around about 600 meters altitude, or a bit over, that we had to climb. Or I had to climb rather. I'm doing this solo today. But it certainly wasn't terribly difficult. The worst part that I had was quite literally trying to cross the creek, trying to cross Mother Cummings rivulet when it had so much water going through it was difficult. Yeah, I was up to my thighs in water at some points just trying to get across very, very carefully. And of course I'm carrying all this expensive equipment with me, my camera and whatnot. The last thing I want to do is, you know, damage that. So it's going to be fun coming back down off this mountain, having to do that rivulet crossing all over again. Time permitting and energy permitting, I'll try and do some of those waterfalls on the way down as well. Very interested to try and get Smoko Falls. I assume that's what it's called. No idea. So I'm just going to go with that. Oh, hello. Have a look at this view. It's now I know why the track takes us to here. See if we can find a easier way to have a look at the view down here. This is going to overlook the Meander Valley. Oh yeah. Let's go over here.
4 kilometers.
Well, that's my GPS telling me I've just walked 4 kilometers all up. So it's taken me over about 3 hours just to get to this point. I was slow going though, mainly crossing the river. I did stop and have some lunch. Jeez. Go up here, I think. Hello. Yeah, wow. Look how green Tasmania is. All the rain we've had, you know, for a long period of time. What's really cool, you probably can't see it in the camera, but I can. I can see in the distance just over there is Warners and Havelock Falls. Can see it very clearly on top of that plateau over there. Down in that river system, Duncanson's rivulet it is, ends up flowing all the way into Huntsman's Lake, which is right down the bottom there. Huntsman's Lake is just near the little township of Meander. We could see Meander just down there and all the farmlands around it. The little peak just in front of us is Quamby Bluff. This is just an extraordinarily nice view. Yeah, I'm glad I did this today. And Mum, I did this for you today. Yeah, I know you would have loved to have seen this, Mum. This river has a lot of very pretty cascades. Look at that log I'm standing in front of, a tree that's fallen. It's got a marker on it too, to help guide you through this pretty lush forest. So those waterfalls are below me. It is so pretty, really pretty. Just taking photos of another waterfall. Let's move up here for a bit. Isn't that pretty? I love the big rocks covered in moss. It's just a really, really pretty spot. And of course we've got another waterfall cascade over there as well. Just so pretty. So I've been thinking about the last waterfall which I just photographed and visited. That's on this creek or rivulet or river, whatever it is. Certainly, it was certainly substantial enough to understand why it's been marked as a waterfall and not a cascade. It just got me thinking though, is that the one that people in the past have called Smoko Falls? It's actually marked on the map slightly upstream from, or sorry, it's marked on the map slightly downstream from where I photographed. But it's definitely, the one I photographed is definitely the significant one, as far as the one that's on this actual river or rivulet. The previous waterfall, the one that's dropped off the cliff, the one that I've been talking about, I think maybe called Smoko Falls. Perhaps it's not. Maybe because it's seasonal, doesn't flow all the time. Don't get me wrong, it's a huge waterfall. It truly is. The way it bounces off the top of the cliff and down, yeah, it's pretty magnificent. But now I'm beginning to doubt myself whether that one is actually Smoko Falls. Anyway, it's all conjecture at this stage. I could see reasons why it would be called Smoko Falls. That's the tall one I'm talking about. Or reasons why it wouldn't be called Smoko Falls. Likewise, I could see reasons why the one I've just photographed could be Smoko Falls. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to understand how they've named these things and how the namings of these things have sort of got lost. I went slightly off track there. That's a good example of how easily you can actually lose the track. So thankfully experience turns me around very, very quickly. If I was inexperienced hiker, I just probably would have kept walking down the wrong track, but it doesn't take long for some alarm bells to start ringing when I think something's not quite right. That comes with experience too. Yeah, this is hairy. Bit slippery here, and I've got a bit of a drop, so I just got to be careful. Because there's a lot of tree roots, it's very easy to slip. Ugh. Okay, now I don't usually hike with poles either, but geez, I'm glad I did today. It just helped me keep me upright in times where it was slippery. My knee has been acting up, and my ankle for that matter, on my right leg, both have been acting up with quite a bit of pain, especially walking downhill. So it slowed me down a lot on this walk. So I just got to take it extra easy. So a walking pole, or two walking poles, has been a great asset. Not just because of the soreness, but because of, oh, look at that tree. Look at the root system on it. Yeah, I was just saying that the poles just help give you stability and helps give you some support to ease the pressure off your legs, especially when you're going downhill. So yeah, they're worth investing in. Yeah, I like this tree. Look at the colours in it. Yeah, very cute. Anyway, must press on. It's been fun though. It's really cute, isn't it? I won't photograph it, there's too much sun. However, is this Smoko Falls? I admit, originally when I first came to this region, I honestly thought this was Smoko Falls, but then debates open up about which one it is. Anyhow, regardless of its name, it is very pretty. And again, we've got this gorgeous forest covered in big boulders and moss. So pretty, just so pretty. I'm back to the river crossing. However, it was really interesting. On this walk, I met a few people that were also climbing the peak. And I asked them, I said, how did you guys go crossing the river? And they go, what river crossing? Anyway, I was a bit perplexed by it, so kept walking away. What I didn't realise is actually another track that goes straight back to the car park without needing to cross the river. So it's actually on this side of the creek. So I'm actually going to change the route I was going to take, and I'm actually going to take this other route. Because yeah, I am not really interested in crossing this river again. If I get lost in that, I'll come back and I'll certainly go the way that I came. But I think I'll try this new route. So I've been told, you can see there's a rock can in front of me. I've been told that it's marked. So yeah, I've got a metal thing, marker on a tree there. Over here is a ribbon, which I'm about to pass. Down here looks like over this fallen log. It's a track, so I'm guessing it's just this way. Looks reasonably like it should be. Yeah, and there it is. More ribbons, more markers. Is that safe there? So I don't know what to expect at this point. But yeah, I'm actually kind of glad I do not have to cross that river again, because that was not easy. My knee is taking a pounding today. It's sore, slowing me down a little bit too, which is a pity. I would have loved to have been out by now. Actually, what is the time? 3:35. Started about 10. Yes, I'm really slow. I've already been over 5 hours. I have been photographing waterfalls and that, so that would have slowed me down half an hour, but I should have been out by now. Actually, I should have checked our GPS. Where am I? Okay, so that's where I am now. And down below there is my destination. So we're not actually that far away. What would that be? A bit over a kilometre, maybe 2. Oops. Okay. Squeeze through there. It's a big tree. Just do this very carefully. Hi. Oh, I was taking a photo of the waterfalls. Yeah. Yeah. This side's harder. Oops. Oh dear me. Oh dear me, this side sucks. I think I prefer the other side of the river. Haven't had much chance at all to speed up. This side of the river is relentless. Okay. Oh, it's interesting to see the new route. It's diverting back to the car park now. Yeah, I'm not sure what to think of that diversion. I guess the pros of coming this way, if you were to climb the peak, is that you don't have to cross the river. Usually the river is not a problem to cross anyway, it's just that the water levels are up today because of the rain we've had. Yeah, this side of this new track that's opened up now, the one I'm walking on, 100% harder, no question. However, I'm very grateful to be past all the hard stuff now, at least I assume so. Don't like walking on logs. Very slippery things they are. Okay, so it wants to go this way. Nice, back at the car park. So 6 hours and 14 minutes that took me. Did stop and muck around, but I was slow.